Hello student. Today topic of discussion is cervical cancer. So come to the objective of this topic. To assess the burden of cervical cancer in India and review the performance of available cancer screening tools so as to provide screening program and implementation of HPV vaccination, that is Gardasil, which is quadrivalent, and Cervarix, that is bivalent. As cervical cancer is major cause of cancer mortality in women, improvement is needed in the area of economic resources. It needed change in culture and implementation of organized screening program. Disease could be treated in pre-invasive phase as it lasts several years before it becomes invasive and incurable. So come to the content of this topic are introduction, incidence, etiology, pathology, clinical feature, pattern of spread, staging, diagnosis and management. Come to the introduction. In India, carcinoma cervix is second most common gynecological malignancy. More than 5,27,600 new cases and 2,65,700 deaths are recorded annually. In India, cervical cancer is a major public health problem. Pap smear has reduced the incidence of cervical cancer by nearly 80% and death by 70%. HPV vaccine is expected to reduce the incidence of cervical cancer by 90% to 100%. Cervical cancer is entirely preventable disease as the different screening diagnosis and therapeutic measures are effective. Incidence in India overall is 23.5 per 1 lakh has been observed. In India, the prevalence is more among the comparatively younger age group, that is 45 years. Carcinoma cervix is rare in women who are sexually not active as non-virginal women. Male circumcision is partially protective against cervical carcinogenesis. Come to the etiology. It is more prevalent in age of 35 to 39 and 60 to 64 years race. It is less in Jewish women because incidence of human papilloma virus is low in circumcised men, and this is the reason for low incidence of cancer cervix in their wives. And coitus, multiple sex partner and early age of coitus and frequent coitus are most consistent risk factor. HPV transmitted through sexual activity. Microtrauma causes viral entry to epithelium of transformation zone. HPV DNA positivity is strongly related with number of sexual partner. Women with multiple partner have high positivity HPV DNA, that is 60%, compared to women with single partner, that is 21%. And childbearing, too many and too frequent birth. Estrogen, long term use of OC pills hormone may change the susceptibility of cervical cell to HPV infection or make it easier for HPV infection to cause cervical cancer. Cervical irritation and infection with HPV high risk types, that is 16, 18, 31, 33 or 45. HPV low risk type and infection with STD, HIV and herpes simplex. Smoking habit and dietary deficiency as vitamin A, C and E are all related with the incidence of cancer cervix. Predisposing factor, predisposing histological status, that is scene second, scene third and carcinoma in situ All are related with the carcinoma cervix. And come to the pathology. The site of lesion is predominantly in the ectocervix, that is 80%, and rest 20% are in the endocervix. And naked eye appearance, exophytic, ulcerative and infiltrative type. Exophytic, that arise from the ectocervix and form friable masses almost filling up the upper vagina. In late cases, it has a cauliflower-like appearance. And ulcerative, the lesion excavate the cervix and often involve the vaginal furnishage. And infiltrative type, these are found in endocervical growth. They causes expansion of the cervix, so it becomes barrel shaped. Diagnosis is often late. And histopathological type, cervical intraepithelial neoplasia grade 3rd, squamous cell carcinoma in situ, squamous cell carcinoma, keratinizing, non-keratinizing, varicose adenocarcinoma in situ, adenocarcinoma in situ, endocervical type, endometrioid adenocarcinoma, and clear cell adenocarcinoma, adenosquamous carcinoma, adenoid cystic carcinoma, and a small cell carcinoma, and undifferentiated carcinoma. Come to the clinical feature. Vaginal bleeding, especially postcoital bleeding, intermenstrual bleeding, and menometrorrhagia, and postmenopausal bleeding. With advanced disease, there is malodorous vaginal discharge, which could be a blood-stained. Blood loss is due to anemia and obstructive uropathy. Frequent attack of pyelonephritis due to ureteric obstruction. Bladder symptom is due to there is increased frequency of micturition, dysuria, hematuria, or true incontinence due to fistula formation. Pelvic pain is either due to involvement of ureter, sacral ligament leading to backache. And rectal involvement causing diarrhea, pain, bleeding, or even rectovaginal fistula. Growth mass is seen on the cervix, which is seen with the speculum examination, that reveal nature of growth, ulcerative or fungative, which bleed on touch. Come to the spread mode of spread. Direct invasion into the cervical stroma, corpus, vagina, and parametrium, paracervical and paravaginal tissue. Tumor cell surrounds and compresses the ureter. Backward spread to uterosacral ligament to involve the rectum. Forward to involve the bladder. And lymphatic metastasis. The primary growth involve are parametrial nodes, internal iliac nodes, obturator, external iliac, rectal and sacral nodes. The secondary nodes involved are common iliac group. The inguinal nodes commonly involved left supraclavicular, that is Escalni nodes, are involved after para-aortic nodes. Sentinel lymph node is the first node that drains the primary tumor. And blood-borne metastasis, it is late and usually by the vein rather than artery. Lung, liver, or bone are usually involved. Intraperitoneal implantation, direct implantation occur at the time of operation. Come to the staging of the cancer cervix. Purpose of staging are to determine the prognosis, to formulate the line of treatment, and to compare the result of one to the other. Staging of cervical cancer is based principally on the clinical examination, CT, MRI, that can detect pelvic, parametrial, or periaortic lymph node involvement. So, staging of FIGO staging of the cervical cancer according to 2018. Stage first, the carcinoma is strictly confined to the cervix. Extension to the uterus corpus should be disregarded. Stage 1A, invasive carcinoma that can be diagnosed only by microscopy with maximum depth of invasion is less than 5 mm. Stage 1A1, major stromal invasion that is less than 3 mm in depth. Stage first A2, major stromal invasion more than 3 mm and less than 5 mm in depth. Stage B, invasive carcinoma with major deepest invasion more than 5 mm greatest than stage 1A, lesion limited to the cervix uteri. Stage B1, invasive carcinoma of more than 5 mm depth of stromal invasion and less than 2 cm in greatest dimension. Stage 1B2, invasive carcinoma more than 2 cm and less than 4 cm in greatest dimension. Stage 1B3, invasive carcinoma of more than 4 cm in greatest dimension. These pictures showing stage first and second stage of carcinoma cervix. Stage second, the carcinoma invades beyond the uterus but has not extended onto lower third of vagina or to the pelvic wall. Stage second A, involvement limited to upper two-thirds of vagina without parametrial involvement. Stage second A1, invasive carcinoma less than 4 cm in greatest dimension. Stage second A2, invasive carcinoma more than 4 cm in greatest dimension. Stage B, with parametrial involvement but not up to the pelvic wall. Stage third, the carcinoma involved the lower third of vagina and extend to the pelvic wall and or causes the hydronephrosis or non-functioning kidney and or involve pelvis and or para-aortic lymph node. Stage third A, the carcinoma involves the lower third of vagina with no extension to the pelvic wall. Stage third B, extension to the pelvic wall and or hydronephrosis or non-functioning kidney unless known to be due to another cause. Stage third C, involvement of pelvic and para-aortic lymph nodes irrespective of tumor size and extent. Stage third C1, pelvic node metastasis only. Stage third C2, para-aortic lymph node metastasis. Stage 4, the carcinoma has extended beyond the true pelvis or has involved the mucosa of the bladder or rectum. Stage 4A, spread to adjacent pelvic organ, and stage 4B, spread to distant organ. This picture showing stage 3 and 4 stage of carcinoma cervix. Come to the diagnosis. Early carcinoma is stage first A, first B and second A, and advanced carcinoma is stage second B to stage fourth B. So it depends upon history. There is history of early marriage and multiple sex partner and clinical feature like there is postcoital bleeding and postmenopausal bleeding. So investigation is essential like lab investigation for Pap test. Here in cervical cytology, cells are removed from cervix and examined under the microscope. It can detect epithelial cell abnormalities such as atypical squamous cell and squamous interepithelial lesion and squamous cell carcinoma, that is invasive type. Colposcopy, cervix is viewed through the colposcope and surface can be seen close and clear. There could be abnormal laparoscopic finding. And tissue biopsy, Biopsy is mandatory for confirmation of diagnosis. We can do biopsy either by colposcopic directed biopsy or endocervical curettage or cone biopsy. Chest X-ray is to be done for pulmonary metastasis. CT scan is done to know the pelvic lobe metastasis and to know the tumor size and depth of stromal invasion. MRI lymph node involvement, vaginal and parametrial extension, and lymphography is also essential. Come to the differential diagnosis. The growth need to be differentiated from cervical tuberculosis, syphilitic ulcer, and cervical ectopy, product of conception in incomplete abortion, and fibroid polyp. And complication. The following complication may occur sooner or later as the lesion progresses, that is hemorrhage, frequent attack of ureteric pain due to pyelitis and pyelonephritis and hydronephrosis, pyometra, especially with endocervical variety, vesicovaginal fistula and rectovaginal fistula, it is a late complication. Cause of death is due to uremia. This is due to ureteric obstruction. Hemorrhage because of brisk bleeding, and sepsis, localized or generalized peritonitis may occur, which may be fatal. And cachexia, the cancerous tissue have got depressant action on general metabolism. Metastasis. The distant organ commonly involved are lymph node, bone, abdominal cavity, which may be fatal. Come to the management of the cancer cervix, which could be preventive and curative. Preventive measures are primary prevention and secondary prevention, and curative primary surgery, primary radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and combination therapy. And come to the prevention. Primary prevention. It is rightly said prevention is better than cure. It involves identifying the causal factor and eliminating or preventing the responsible factor. Initiation of organized screening program, that is cervical cytology, primary HPV testing, or visual inspection with acetic acid is urgently needed. Identifying high risk male and female infection. Early age of first pregnancy and high parity, too many and too frequent birth, long term use of combined oral contraceptive pills, low socioeconomic status, poor maintenance of genital hygiene. And HPV vaccine. Prophylactic HPV vaccine is approved to all school girls from the age of 12 to 18 and women 16 to 25. 2 or 3 doses are given. Bivalent are given at 0, 2 and 6 months, or quadrivalent is given at 0, 1 and 6 months. And use of condom during early sex. Because of raising the age of marriage and first birth and limitations of family size and maintenance of local hygiene and effective therapy of sexually transmitted infection, that are positive step in prevention. Removal of cervix during hysterectomy operation as a routine, it will reduce the incidence of stump carcinoma. The incidence of stump carcinoma is 1%. Secondary prevention is done by doing screening program or down staging program of WHO. Down staging program is defined as a detection of disease at an earlier stage When it is still curable, detection is done by the nurse and other paramedical health worker using a simple scapulum for visual inspection of the cervix. And come to the curative treatment, which could be either surgery, primary surgery or primary radiotherapy or chemotherapy or combination therapy. Surgery is hysterectomy. There are so kinds of hysterectomy: radical hysterectomy, extrafacial hysterectomy, modified radical extensive pelvic exentration, and laparoscopic radical hysterectomy and robotic laparoscopy hysterectomy. And come to the treatment of cancer cervix according to stage wise. Stage first A1 operation is to be done as conization or extrafacial hysterectomy type 1, and stage 1A2 modified radical hysterectomy, that is type 2, or radical trachelectomy in young women. Stage 1B1 radical hysterectomy type 3 or radical trachelectomy in young women. Stage 1B2 radical hysterectomy type 3 or chemoradiation. And stage 2A radical hysterectomy type 3 or chemoradiation. Stage 2B, 3rd B chemoradiation. Stage 4th palliative radiotherapy. Recurrence carcinoma of the cervix, exentration operation and chemotherapy. Come to the type of hysterectomy. Rulge has defined 5 classes of hysterectomy in case of malignancy depending on the extent of resection. Class 1, extrafacial hysterectomy with bilateral salpingo-oophorectomy. Class 2, modified radical hysterectomy, which is the original Werdheim's hysterectomy. In this, the medial half of the cardinal and uterosacral ligament are also removed, as well as those pelvic lymph nodes which are enlarged. Class 3rd, radical hysterectomy. This is the modified Werdheim's operation as described by the Meigs. It includes complete pelvic node dissection, removal of almost the whole of the cardinal and uterosacral ligament, and upper 1/3 of vagina. Class 4th, extended radical hysterectomy. This includes removal of the periuretral tissue, superior vesical artery, and up to the 3/4 of the vagina. Class 5th, partial exentration. This is rarely performed. Here portion of the distal ureter and bladder are also dissected. Primary radiotherapy. It is applicable in stage 2B and 3rd and 3rd-B when surgery is not feasible. Teletherapy for large tumor to shrinken the tumor, and brachytherapy for smaller ones. And chemoradiation, that is cisplatin, carboplatin, vincristine, hydroxyurea, tipocaine, best result with cisplatin with radiotherapy. Chemotherapy sensitize the cancer cell to radiation and improve the survival rate. Come to the palliative care. Principles of the palliative care are the control of the symptom and care focused on the individual basis to maintain the dignity and quality of the life. Symptomatic treatment as follow. If there is vomiting, so dehydration and electrolyte balance should be corrected. And vomiting is due to neutropenia, uremia, and chemoradiation. So antiemetic like ondansetron and haloperidol is given. And analgesic is given for the pelvic pain, such as morphine and tramadol. And palliative chemotherapy and radiotherapy may be used for uncontrolled vaginal bleeding, pelvic pain, and metastatic disease pain. Diet is improved by the metoclopramide and domperidone, diuretic and spironolactone for ascites. For vaginal discharge, betadine douche or metronidazole irrigation is to be done. And there is need of both mental and physical rest. Thank you, student.